What up, guys? Your boy Quake, and this T.I. and 50 Cent battle is hitting new levels of disrespect. For those that have been unaware, T.I.'s been on a promo run promoting his new album with his new single, Let 'Em Know. And while on this promo run, he's been asked quite a few times about who he'd want to do a versus with. And he's mentioned Lil Wayne and 50. And when mentioning 50 Cent, obviously 50 didn't like that. He's always been against doing a versus, and he's, even in 2021, refuted doing a versus with T.I. But just recently, T.I. appeared on $1 Million Worth of Game podcast. And I'll try and play this clip if I can. If it's copyrighted, I won't play it. But basically, in this $1 Million Worth of Game interview, T.I. reveals that 50 Cent initially agreed to do the verses with him in private. And then when T.I. came out and called 50 out for a versus, 50 then backed out and didn't want to do it anymore.
Okay, so first, it was really about celebrating each other's catalog. Me and them talk back there, bro. This I ain't just called it out the blue. Yeah. Me and them talk back there.
You talk about you with 50?
Yeah, man. We talk about this shit, man. It just come out of nowhere.
All right.
We were moving around in LA, man, selling some TV shows while we were around each other, man. You know what I mean? I said, what you think about that? He was like, you want to do that shit? I said, yeah. He was like, all right, cool. So and I told him, I said, well, I'm gonna jump out there first, and then you just gonna jump out there and we'll line it up. Right. And he said, all right. And when I jump out there, nigga act like he ain't know what the f going on. Then that's what it was about. You know what I'm saying? Now, it about, oh, you playing? Okay, you gonna play. All right, cool. But how about all of it? All of it. I don't even want you, man. Cause now I question your character. Any gonna get kick that kind of shit, then, man, just say you don't want to do it. All the other extra lame, man, this goofy.
So y'all talked about it, you saying? You went out there.
Years ago. Years ago we spoke about it.
I think it'd be a great battle, though. I think,
man, that shit ain't gonna happen. That shit ain't gonna happen, man. I don't want to stand on stage with him. I have no interest in standing on stage with that. I don't respect him.
Now, we don't know how true that story is, but that's what T.I. says happened, that he and 50 were out in Los Angeles pitching TV shows and movies, and that's when they, came up with this plan to do a versus. And T.I. said, hey, I'm going to be the first one to jump out, and then you respond, and then we get this hype going, and then we do a versus. But apparently T.I. says 50 backed out, and then from there, T.I. says that his antics have been very disrespectful and that he doesn't respect 50 anymore and that he would never share a stage with them ever again. Now, of course, with T.I. saying this, 50 Cent caught wind of it and has responded by disrespecting T.I.'s family, more specifically T.I.'s wife, Tiny. 50 took to Instagram and posted a not so flattering photo of T.I.'s wife, Tiny, and she looks like, in a bad angle, and her body looks a little off. It's like a bad angled photo, which celebrities sometimes they do have, bad photos that they take because, they're celebrities. They have photos taken of them every second. But he posted that photo, which doesn't look flattering of her. And in the caption, he said, I keep saying, keep my name out your mouth. Okay. So 50 is just, saying, hey, man, stop mentioning me in these interviews. Stop mentioning me. Do a versus. I'm not interested in doing a versus. That's where he's at with it. Now, after posting this photo, T.I.'s son, King, did not like it one bit. So he posted on his stories making fun of 50 Cent's dead mother and basically saying, dig her up and all this stuff and worry about your mother who's dead. Don't talk about my mom. And, rightfully so. Anybody that, if somebody was disrespectful to my mom, I would jump out and say the same stuff because that's, that's my own mother. So King being that upset and being mad at him makes total sense. Check out the video. I censored it heavily because he's cussing like every second. And, with these platforms, they don't allow all that cussing, but check out the video.
Your mama dead as go dig her up. Go dig her up. Post a picture of your mama. She dead. Pay respect. Stop playing with my mama. Ain't playing like that. Ain't going like that. How y'all raised? I'm not raised like that. I don't go. I'm not going about my mama. I'm not going. So tell your dead mama dig her up and post a picture that look better than my mama. What's wrong with you? Y'all better tie y'all motherfucking shoes. Y'all don't know who the y'all with. You better put that music up and shut the fuck up. Cause all that other ain't gonna get it. On my mother. Your mama dead as dig that bitch up. Stop that. Not going. I don't give a about how to play it. Not going. Posting my mama like your mama ain't dead as go put some flowers on that grave. Man, posting my mama a mother legend. Your mama a mother J. Stop, man. Don't never think you can get on this motherfucking level and you can compete with us. We on a whole different ball game. We got a whole different type of level of respect around here. You get on that do that. You a hoe. I would say that to your face. Man.
Now, after that was posted, T.I. then decided to go on his Instagram page and promote a new track. And this track somewhat sounds like he's dissing 50. There's no direct names. It might just be a cut off his upcoming album because the album's title is Kill the King. And on this track, it sounds like he's talking about defending his crown and stuff like that. So it can sound like it's a diss track towards 50, but there's nothing direct at it, and it's a preview. It's a preview of the first verse. And the caption said this: "Oh, you guys want war? All right, we on that." And then he posted a little duck emoji, and he called 50 a duck in the comments before. So it might be a little subliminal at 50. And then he hashtag saying, "Got the right one this time." And this track, like I said, he's just basically saying, hey, anybody want war with me, it's on. And he's saying, I'm going to defend my king crown. I can't play the track because of copyright, obviously, but if you want to go listen to it, check out T.I.'s Instagram page. From here, then, 50 Cent responded with what he knows to do best, and that's memes. He posted the sad frog meme, and in the caption, he put LOL. With this meme, he's, I think, directly responded to T.I.'s son, King. I mean, he's not going to, say something really disrespectful. It's T.I.'s kids. I mean, that's, T.I.'s probably going to jump in and check his son and say, hey, step out of this. This is a grown man business. Don't, jump out. And, I understand where King's coming from. Like I said, it's disrespecting your mother. It makes total sense. He got that mad. But T.I. is definitely going to jump into that and be like, get out of this. Just let me and 50 deal with it. So 50 didn't really go hard on T.I.'s son. He just, was like making fun of the situation, basically saying like he's sad because he disrespected his dead mom. That's the back and forth that's been going on. But what I want to talk about is a little bit of the history of what's been going on with T.I. and 50 on this verses. So 50 has always been adamant about not wanting to do any type of verses, whether it's with T.I., whether it's with whoever. He's called verses a platform that was only popping when the pandemic was happening, and now that everybody's outside, there's no point in ever having a verses. And he calls basically verses just like looking at the past in your career. And 50's like, I've moved on. I look at the future. And that's, as you can see right now, he's working on TV shows and film. He's not doing music. He hasn't dropped an album since 2014. So music is his last priority. With that being said, if you guys don't remember, back in 2021, T.I. obviously called 50 out for verses. And 50 at that time was very respectful and basically said, I don't want anything to do with his verses. He posted a while ago a video of T.I. talking about his Crime Stoppers commercial in an interview. And this is what 50 had said in the caption in 2021. This was a week ago. This guy was just telling me about a comedy show he's working on backstage. I don't like all this kind of stuff. It wouldn't be a good idea to come around me again. Respectfully, stay away from me. And that was the end of that. He said, respectfully, stay away from me. And obviously these past couple of weeks, he said, hey, stay away from me. Let's do the stay away from me challenge. He doesn't want anything to do with T.I. He doesn't want to do a verses. But yet, T.I. keeps bringing up his name for verses. T.I. mentioned Lil Wayne. Go call out Lil Wayne and focus on Lil Wayne. Maybe Lil Wayne will actually entertain it. But 50 is not the type to do a verses. He's at a different level in his career. It's like asking Jay-Z, Eminem, Kanye West, Drake. These artists that are a huge tier to do a verses. They gain nothing from it. Now, as a fan, from a hip-hop perspective, I would love it. Makes total sense, right? T.I. and 50, great catalogs, would be entertaining. It would be amazing. Probably break records on Apple Music views. I don't know. But you got to look at it from their perspective as well. As a brand, they're protecting their brand. 50 doesn't want to do a versus. And let's just say T.I. smokes him, right? That would make people look at 50 worse. And it would make people look at 50's catalog worse for the most part. I mean, if you look at the Locks and the Dipset situation, Dipset looked bad, looked horrible. And it changed a lot of people's minds on Dipset. Even more so now with the Jim Jones and all the stuff that's going on. But that made it horrible because the Locks smoked him, specifically Jadakiss. He just killed it. So these artists don't really have much to gain. If they do beat the person in the verses, what do they gain? A bump in their streams for a couple of days, 20, 30% bump in their streams, and that's it. And people kind of move on. Maybe they build a little better, like, catalog of history, or, that people would look at them a little bit differently with more respect, maybe, but that's really about it. So 50's kind of moved on from that situation, doesn't really care musically. He hasn't dropped an album in a long time, so that just shows you there he doesn't care. But what a lot of people aren't remembering as well is Busta Rhymes called out T.I. And T.I. basically ignored it. T.I. said, hey, me and Busta Rhymes aren't in the same, year of music. He's more old school, I'm more new school. It doesn't make any sense. Who cares? Like, why does that matter? I think T.I. was just scared because, Busta Rhymes has great energy on stage. He can shift a crowd. He can make people go crazy. I mean, look at the Chris Lighty tribute. Busta Rhymes is the one that was hosting that whole thing because of his energy. So Busta Rhymes' stage presence is amazing. And he's got hit records too. So why did T.I., that excuse that T.I. made doesn't make any sense. Oh, we're different generations. No, entertain it. If Busta Rhymes wants to do it, accept it. Just like how people are getting mad at 50 for not wanting to do the verses. Why didn't anybody get mad at T.I. for declining the Busta Rhymes one? But that's what I'm saying. It's selective. People get, they choose specific things that they want, and people, get mad at specific people they don't like. It's really just that simple. Anyways, I think a lot of this battle and stuff that's going back and forth with T.I. and 50 is made up. I think a lot of it is to promote T.I.'s music. Maybe 50 and T.I. have some conversations happening in the background where they say, hey, do this so you can get more promo, and then you can help me with promo with my page, and so on and so forth. Or it's actually probably serious because, now family members are getting involved. So I don't know. It could be WWE or it could be actually real. Regardless, a lot of people have been going at 50 to try to get attention for their platform, which just shows that 50 is relevant as ever. And it's unfortunate that 50 responds to everything. He shouldn't, really. I think a lot of this stuff he should just ignore. But 50 is, he knows he thrives in that, competition back and forth, talking back and forth. He thrives in that because that just builds his brand up more. That's what he's known for. So other than that, it's just very interesting, man. It's entertaining, and we're never going to get that versus. I'm just letting you guys know that will I'm confident in using the word never. Very confident. I would be genuinely surprised if this ever happened. But that's my take on it. Let me know what you guys think.